You're in the kitchen, whipping up what you think is a healthy meal, maybe a salad, some grilled fish, a fresh juice, and you have no idea that at that very moment, unknowingly, you're committing a silent mistake that's slowly destroying your liver. You eat it, believing you're doing the right thing, taking care of your health, but in reality, you're feeding the fat already accumulated in your liver, making it grow, spread, and transform into something far more dangerous. And the worst part is, nobody told you. No doctor warned you, no nutritionist explained that there's a combination so common, so present on every American's table, that when consumed alone, it becomes a slow poison for anyone with fatty liver disease. You feel that fatigue after meals, that heavy sensation, that bloating that won't go away, and you think it's normal, part of the process. But it's not. Your body is screaming, begging for help, showing you that something is terribly wrong. And today, you'll discover exactly what you should never consume alone if you have fatty liver. And more importantly, you'll understand why this is happening and how to reverse it before it's too late. A recent study published in the Journal of Hepatology revealed something startling. Over 65% of people with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease are unknowingly worsening their condition simply because they're consuming foods in isolation. Without the correct nutrient combinations, the liver needs to metabolize fat efficiently. This means most people with fatty liver are doing everything wrong with their diet, not necessarily because they're eating bad things, but because they're eating the right things the wrong way at the wrong time in the wrong combinations. And this makes all the difference between a liver that can regenerate and a liver that's rapidly heading towards fibrosis, cirrhosis, and liver failure. I'm a hepatologist dedicating my life to studying and treating liver diseases, and what I'm about to reveal today has completely changed how I guide my patients, something that should be in every doctor's office, in every consultation, but is unfortunately still ignored by most healthcare professionals. I created this channel because I saw too many patients arriving at my office in advanced stages of liver disease, people who could have avoided all this suffering if they had received the right information at the right time. If you're watching this now, if you've discovered you have fatty liver and are trying to figure out what to do, if you've tried various diets and nothing worked, if you feel like you're fighting this condition alone, I want you to know you're in the right place. Here, you'll get up-to-date, science-based information, explained in a way anyone can understand and apply in real life. These aren't generic pieces of advice, not empty tips. These are protocols that work, strategies I use with my patients that yield real results. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the notification bell, because every week I bring you content that will help you regain your liver health, understand what's happening inside your body, and make informed decisions about your diet and treatment. You deserve access to this information. You deserve the chance to reverse this condition before it becomes irreversible. But before I reveal the food you should never consume alone, I need to tell you the story of Marcia, a patient who came to me about 8 months ago. Marcia is 42, a teacher, a mother of 2, and has always been an active person who cared about her health. She never smoked, rarely drank, and walked 3 times a week. When she received a diagnosis of grade 2 fatty liver disease from a routine checkup, she was in shock because she thought she was doing everything right. Her doctor told her she needed to lose weight, cut carbs, and exercise. And that was it. He sent her on her way. Marcia left that office feeling guilty, like a failure, thinking she'd done something wrong, but without understanding exactly what. She started a restrictive diet, cutting out bread, rice, and pasta. She began eating only salads for lunch, only fruit for snacks, and only protein for dinner. In the first 2 months, she even lost 4 pounds, felt encouraged, and thought she was on the right track. But when she repeated her tests, the surprise was devastating. Her liver enzymes had increased. Her TGP, which was 52, jumped to 78. The ultrasound showed the fat had progressed, and she couldn't understand how this was possible if she was eating less, if she was trying so hard. That's when she came to me, desperate, confused, feeling like she'd lost control of her own body. When I looked at Marcia's food diary, I immediately identified the problem, and it was exactly what I'm about to reveal to you now. She was consuming fruits in isolation for snacks, thinking she was making a healthy choice, and this was the fatal error. Let me explain what happens in your body when you consume fructose, the sugar in fruit, in isolation, without additional fiber, protein, or healthy fats. Fructose is metabolized directly in the liver, unlike glucose, which can be used by any cell in the body. When you eat a piece of fruit alone, especially fruits high in fructose like mangoes, grapes, watermelon, or pineapple, all that fructose goes straight to your liver at once, creating a metabolic overload that the liver of someone who already has fatty liver can't process adequately. The liver then converts this fructose into triglycerides, which are stored as fat within the liver cells themselves, further worsening the fatty liver condition. And worse, this process generates inflammation, oxidative stress, and insulin resistance, creating a vicious cycle that accelerates the progression of the disease. Now I need to ask you a question, and I want you to be completely honest with me, because your answer could help thousands of people watching this video right now. When you found out you had fatty liver disease, did you start going on restrictive diets, thinking you were taking care of yourself, but without proper guidance on how to combine foods correctly? Did you feel lost, confused, not knowing exactly what you could or couldn't eat? I know how it feels to be doing everything you think is right and still not see results, or worse, see your test results get worse. It's frustrating, it's scary, it's lonely. So I want you to comment below. Use these words if you like. I have fatty liver and need to understand how to combine my foods correctly. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel judged, because this is a space for support, for learning, for transformation. When you comment, you're committing to your own health. You're telling yourself that you deserve a better life, a healthy liver, a future without fear. Comment now, because I read every comment. I care about every story, and your participation strengthens this entire community that's fighting for the same cause. Returning to the science behind all of this, the liver is the only organ in the body capable of metabolizing fructose in large quantities. But when it's already overloaded with accumulated fat, this capacity becomes compromised. Studies show that the consumption of isolated fructose significantly increases the production of free fatty acids in the liver, which in turn stimulate the production of more triglycerides, creating a progressive accumulation of fat. Furthermore, fructose interferes with leptin signaling, which is the satiety hormone, causing you to continue eating even when you should already be full. And it also interferes with insulin sensitivity, worsening insulin resistance, which is already a central characteristic of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. But the solution isn't to stop eating fruit, because fruits are rich in antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals essential for liver health. The solution is to learn how to combine fruits with other foods that slow down fructose absorption and protect the liver from that metabolic spike. Let me tell you about Roberto, a 55-year-old patient, an executive at a tech company who had grade 3 fatty liver disease with early signs of fibrosis. Roberto was one of those patients who followed everything to the letter. He researched, he read articles, he tried to do his best. For breakfast, he had oatmeal with skim milk. For a mid-morning snack, an apple. For lunch, salad with grilled chicken. For an afternoon snack, a banana. For dinner, fish with vegetables. Sounds perfect, right? But his test results weren't improving, and he was getting more and more frustrated. When I analyzed his diet, I identified that, in addition to eating fruit alone during snacks, he was making another critical mistake. He was consuming refined carbohydrates at breakfast without enough protein and healthy fats, creating another insulin spike that further overloaded his liver. I completely changed his dietary strategy. I kept the fruits, but always combined them. His mid-morning apples started being eaten with a handful of nuts and a spoonful of natural peanut butter. His afternoon banana began to be accompanied by plain Greek yogurt and chia seeds. For breakfast, I added eggs and avocado along with his oatmeal, creating a balanced meal that stabilized his blood sugar and protected his liver. In 3 months, the results were impressive. His ALT dropped from 96 to 42, his AST from 83 to 39. The ultrasound showed a significant reduction in liver fat, and Roberto finally understood that the problem was never what he ate, but how he ate. Now you might be asking, but what are the correct combinations then? What should I do in practice to protect my liver? First, every time you eat a fruit, combine it with a source of protein or healthy fat. This will slow down fructose absorption and prevent that metabolic spike in the liver. It could be plain yogurt, a handful of nuts like cashews, almonds, walnuts, sugar-free natural peanut butter, or seeds like chia, flax, or sunflower. Second, prefer fruits with a lower glycemic index and lower fructose content, such as berries like strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, or fruits with more fiber like apples with the skin on, pears with the skin on, always in moderate portions. Third, avoid fruit juices, even natural ones, because when you remove the fiber from the fruit and concentrate only the liquid, you're creating a fructose bomb that goes straight to the liver without any protection. Fourth, spread your fruit consumption throughout the day in small portions instead of consuming large quantities at once. This gives your liver time to process the fructose more efficiently. Fifth, always prioritize vegetables and leafy greens in your main meals because they are rich in antioxidants that fight liver inflammation and rich in fiber that improves insulin sensitivity. Many people ask me, "But doctor, what if I'm already doing all of this and my tests still aren't improving? What could be happening?" It could be that you're consuming other hidden sources of fructose you don't even realize, like fructose-based sweeteners, such as high fructose corn syrup, which is present in many processed foods, in ready-made sauces, in bread, in sweetened yogurts, in granola bars, in carton juices, even those that claim to be natural. It could also be that you're consuming alcohol, even socially, because alcohol is metabolized in the liver via the same pathway as fructose, creating metabolic competition and worsening fatty liver disease. It could be that you're not sleeping enough because sleep deprivation increases insulin resistance and impairs the liver's ability to burn fat overnight. It could be that you're very stressed because elevated cortisol stimulates hepatic lipogenesis, which is fat production in the liver. It could be that you need specific supplements like vitamin E, omega-3, or choline, which help with liver regeneration, but this needs to be evaluated individually with a doctor who understands liver metabolism. Let me tell you another story that perfectly illustrates this point. Sarah, 38 years old, a graphic designer and a vegetarian for over 10 years, had grade 2 fatty liver disease and was completely baffled when she got the diagnosis. She didn't eat meat, she didn't eat fried foods, she didn't eat fast food. She thought she was doing everything right. When I analyzed her diet, I discovered she was having fruit smoothies every morning for breakfast. Thinking it was super healthy, she'd blend banana, mango, strawberries with coconut milk and granola. It sounds harmless, but that was a massive overload of fructose hitting her liver all at once, without proper chewing, without the digestive process that would slow down absorption. On top of that, because she was vegetarian and didn't plan her protein intake well, she had a choline deficiency. Choline is an essential nutrient for the liver to transport fat out of liver cells, and this deficiency was a major contributor to her worsening fatty liver. I advised her to swap the smoothie for a solid meal with oatmeal, peanut butter, seeds, and just half a portion of fruit. I also recommended supplementing choline through soy lecithin or eggs if she was open to including them in her diet. In 4 months, she saw fantastic improvement, not just in her liver tests, but also in her energy levels, sleep quality, and control over her cravings for sweets. Let's consolidate all of this now so you can apply it immediately to your life. Never consume fruit on its own if you have fatty liver. Always pair it with protein or healthy fats. Avoid fruit juices and smoothies that concentrate fructose without fiber. Opt for fruits with lower fructose content like berries, apples, and pears. Read labels and avoid processed products with high fructose corn syrup or added fructose. Distribute your carbohydrate intake throughout the day in small portions. Prioritize non-starchy vegetables at your main meals. Consume quality protein at every meal to stabilize blood sugar. Include healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil, avocado, and nuts. Get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night to allow your liver to regenerate. Engage in regular physical activity, especially resistance exercises that improve insulin sensitivity. And most importantly, understand that reversing fatty liver disease isn't about a radical restrictive diet. It's about making conscious, sustainable, science-based choices every single day. If you have fatty liver and this video helped you understand something you didn't know before, hit that like button now, because that tells me this content is reaching the right people, the people who truly need this information. Share this video with someone you love, with someone who is struggling with fatty liver, with someone who needs to know there is hope, there is a way, there is a solution. Comment below with your AST and ALT levels. Comment if you were making this mistake of consuming fruit on its own without realizing it. Comment if you've tried to reverse fatty liver and haven't been successful. Because the more you participate, the stronger our community becomes, the more people we can reach, the more lives we can transform. In the next video, I'll show you the 5 foods you should consume every day to accelerate the reversal of fatty liver. Foods that have scientifically proven liver protective power, but that most people don't know about. Don't miss it, because it might be the missing piece of information for you to finally see your lab results improve. Until then, take care of your liver, because it's the only one you've got. And it deserves all your respect, all your care, all your attention.